about 40% of Ghanaians are involved in farming.
I'm Vanessa Canby, and in this video we will be following Abdallah to his farm in ACRE. Please do hit that subscribe button so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video. Abdallah went to school in Ghana, followed by university in the States, and then he did his master's in Sweden in environmental studies and sustainability science. He's used that expertise to start his farm on a 10-acre plot. It's semi-irrigated using solar-powered irrigation systems.
My name is Abdallah Smith, and I'm pretty much the director of Gaia Greenfields, which is the agribusiness company that runs this farm here in Pokrom in the eastern region. My boss bought this land for the company, and people were encroaching on the land, as is very usual in Ghana when you have land sitting idle. And so we thought to make something productive with the land, and we thought of farming. And this is around 2018, so that's pretty much when we started the business, Gaia Greenfields. And but the land had been around for a while. A friend of ours, or a friend of my boss, got in contact with him and told him that they could do green peppers and cabbages, and the market was very good for that. So we went into a business arrangement. We will provide the capital, we will provide the land, they will provide the technical expertise and the marketing as well. So that's when we started from. It didn't go so well for a number of reasons, and maybe a year or so ago the partnership fell apart and we had no money. So I have no farming expertise myself. I partner with Samson, who is the one who does all the farming. What I do is make sure the business runs, from what we plant, what we can expect to get from it, and making sure we execute our plan from the beginning to the end. That is from the nurturing of the seeds all the way to the harvesting, to the sales, and keeping track of everything in between. Because I think one of the reasons why farming has stagnated in Ghana is because there hasn't been enough professional, there hasn't been an injection of professionality in it. And so for me, what is very crucial is to put that into a business and show that farming on paper can be quite viable if you form the right partnerships, if you keep track of everything, and if you're honest and ready to wait the long-term game. Each crop has its own life cycle. The green peppers are 3 months from nursing to harvesting. The tomatoes is about 4 months. Don't ask me about the Bambara beans, I have no idea. I don't know when he planted it. But it looks as if it's been around 3 months. Coffee takes a year and a half, and it's a tree. So each year it gets more and more yield. And the same for the Moringa as well. It's a tree. But the unique thing about the Moringa is that you can grow it either to produce seeds or to produce leaves. If you want to produce leaves, it takes a very short amount of time between when you plant to when you can start harvesting, which is about 2-3 months. But if you want to make seeds, which is primarily transformed into oils, and that ends up maybe in soaps or other cosmetic products. If you want to do that, that would take a year plus, or around a year before that will start flowering or start. You can harvest that. Pineapple is about a year as well, and those are that's it. Our vegetables and our pineapple, they are inorganic. Our coffee and our moringa are organic, and they are split half and half from the farm on a 10-acre plot. The reason why we are not organic yet with the vegetables is because we just have the expertise at this point in time to do it. But we will get there. As for pineapple, the partner that we are working with also does not have the expertise to do organic, so he's doing inorganic. With the coffee, however, they don't require so much attention. So you can pretty much plant it, and the land here is very fertile. And so you pretty much plant it, and then you allow the rain to do its job, and then it grows. So not much needs to go into that. Maybe some hoeing here and there to make sure the weeds. The main problem is weeds growing. So you have to just make sure that the weeds don't take over. Then with the moringa, that is the interesting one that we have going on the site. So we are employing permaculture, which is basically an intense form of farming where you make absolute use of each plot of land by growing complementary crops to maybe your main crop, in this case moringa, and you have them grow together, and you basically cultivate a mini forest, which I mentioned before, the fruit forest. So that is how we're growing the moringa organically, by basically providing all the chemical inputs you will need to grow it using natural elements. And we'll go to that. You get to you get to see it, and we get to talk to the guy who is working on the moringa farm for us. But yeah. We're about 5 to 6 people employed, but that's just the core team. If, for instance, we're harvesting tomatoes, we can end up employing 2-3 other people on the day. That's why they know farming is seasonal employment. The coffee, for instance, we can employ 10 people for a week to do weeding. The moringa, we have one person employed full-time to handle that. So yeah, about 5 to 6 people employed in the farm core team, and then they can range between 5 to 10 people if we're harvesting or doing any particular work on the land. There's not really a daily schedule, for me at least. Maybe for Samson, his schedule, because he's attending to the vegetables, will become to, depending on what stage the crops are in their development. Let's say in the nursery stage, and he needs to be here, making sure they're getting water, making sure the chemicals are being applied. But for my daily schedule on the farm, I will check in with Samson to see what is going on, what he needs, and I'll basically do a round around the farm, check on the coffee to make sure the plants are not being overwhelmed by weeds, check on the moringa to see the progress of the moringa and its complementing crops, and then finally at the pineapples to see if there's been any changes as well. So it pretty much is based on what is being grown, and what stage the development of the crop is. Our life is tied to the crops. When the day comes to harvest, we move into a pickup, and depending on what day it is, we can send it to a caterer, in which case it may come onto your plate in the form of a salad, or being catered by this catering service, or we send it to Shoprite, in which case you can go and buy it from the mall, or we sell it directly to you. That is directly from the farm after we harvest, straight to the client. If anything, we will take it to my house for storage, and send it to you the next day. But that's pretty much nothing too sophisticated. You need to have those three if you want to get involved in farming. And in terms of material things, yes, obviously land, but there are ways around that. For instance, you can start off by just buying some seeds from a local seed shop, and there are plenty around, just that you haven't noticed them. Buy some seeds, go to your garden and plant something there. My favorite produce. That's like picking a favorite child. Currently, I really enjoyed having the maize because we'll roast it here, and when it's fresh like that, it tastes so good. Well, yeah, I come here, I can get tomatoes from my house, I can get corn to eat. That's pretty nice, and also the view is not so bad at all. So it's my little escape. So all the little things that are at the farm make it very nice for me. I can come here and just while away the day. Find out somebody who's farming and go and visit their farm and have a chat with them. That is my way of, that would be my suggestion for them into farming. A lot of people would sit back on their desktops and then be a desktop farmer. That's not the way to get involved. You need to go. Over 40% of Ghanaians are involved in farming, and pretty much most of our workforce were involved in farming before they were moving to the cities. So somebody definitely knows about farming or is involved in farming. Ask them about it. Go to their farm.